Hello once again, everyone. Original Blood Ace back again. It's been a little while now since I did a video on my main channel here, but we got some stuff to talk about. Now, first of all, I was planning to do some videos, some multiple videos to be, straight to the point. But we got a bunch of news, Nintendo stuff, so I'm just gonna do a whole bunch of stories here in an OBA news video. Just cram it all into one and we'll see how it goes. So first of all, Nintendo has revealed their first smartphone game. Hooray! I know we're all so excited, we're foaming at the mouth, we're chomping at the bit. Their first game, some people first of all were worried that it'd be like Mario or something, is called Miitomo. That's right, Miitomo. Now it makes sense to use me. Why? Because the smartphone market. Who is that? That's the casuals, it's the kids. The Mii's, well, let's be honest, that's about the most casual thing Nintendo has, like, out of the entire company of Nintendo. So you would think me plus casual would be a success. So anyway, the game, if you want to call it that, it's not really, it's more of an app. We don't know too much about it, but it seems to be similar to Tomodachi Life. Never played it myself, but it's kind of a me version of Animal Crossing for what I can see. Um, But anyway, let's just read it here. The new smartphone game will be Miitomo. It will be free to play, which remember what Miyamoto or Iwata always said, free to start, with attractive add-ons that people can pay for, which is free to start, like I just said. Mr. Kimishima says other smartphone games will be pay to download. He says, good luck with that. So it looks like Mii's go ahead and communicate with other Mii's without your knowledge. This will help people who are hesitant to talk about themselves to communicate with others and reveal a side of your friends you never knew. Wait, so me and say my buddy Joe Bob over there, our Mii's would talk to each other, tell each other our deepest, darkest secrets without us even being aware of it. What's the point? Whatever. I'm obviously not the part of the market that this is attracted to or it's aimed at, so whatever. In the new Miitomo game, see, I don't. Game is not the proper thing to use when talking about smartphones. The new Miitomo app, I'm going to say, users will design their own avatars or Mii's, so like what Xbox did with the fucking 360. Fantastic. To communicate with other users, executive Shinya Takahashi says that Nintendo will find ways to encourage people who are hesitant to talk to share things about themselves. Now hold the phone. Wasn't Nintendo all about whoa, whoa, whoa? Don't talk to people. Don't you talk to people? Those you could be talking to a serial killer. You could be talking to a rapist. You could be talking to a fucking I don't know, a creepy clown from the circus. Who knows? What happened to being the internet police? Is Mr. Kimishima really going to change that? I hope so. I hope so. But I don't know, because it says to people who are hesitant to talk to share things about themselves. Although if you talk about shit anyway that's not gaming related, whether it was on Miiverse or whatever, then you get banned. So watch people's Nintendo Network IDs if you attach it to the smartphone app, get fucking banned. Be like, hey, you're not allowed to tell someone that you're going into the 10th grade or whatever random shit people say. You know, I don't know. Probably won't happen, but it'll be. I would not be surprised. So Miitomo is the first of 5 smartphone apps that Nintendo plans to release by March of 2017. My apologies. Now, let's jump right into the next story. Boom! In the same day, Nintendo smartphone games have been delayed till next year. That sure as hell didn't take long. In Nintendo's, because this all happened in Nintendo's investor meeting today, or briefing report, or whatever the fuck it was. Um, but in the same day, we're like, here's our first reveal. Oh, delayed. So it's kind of suspicious that your first reveal into a new market is instantly delayed. So, I mean, maybe they just underestimated the market, but at the same time, they made that mistake with the Wii U when they're just like, oh, we aren't used to HD. I mean, technically, you could say we're not used to developing on smartphones, which is true, but at the same time, developing on smartphones, from the people, if you just listen to the people who do it, it's not that hard compared to a console or PC or whatever. It's just like boom, boom, boom. But, I don't know. Anyway, Nintendo has confirmed that the mobile titles that are currently in development between the Kyoto based company and DNA have been delayed until next year. We were originally expecting the first one to come out by the end of the year. The good news, however, is that Nintendo is planning a global launch, so everyone in the world gets it. Some people in the comments I was reading that are like, "Oh my God, when was the last time Nintendo had a global launch that wasn't a Pokemon game?" And I think there was one somewhere. Um, I really can't remember what the fuck it was, but there was a game, I'm pretty sure. But anyway, either way, it's a fucking phone app. How many fucking phone apps come out in Japan first and then wait 7 months? I'm pretty sure most of these quote games, like wasn't Angry Birds or Flappy Bird and all that global launches. This is fucking smartphones. There's literally no purpose whatsoever to being like, oh well, the game's delayed, but we're not going to release it to North America right now, or to Europe, or to Japan. Of course, it's going to be a global launch. It's not that hard to launch. You don't have to ship fucking copies all across the world. It's a fucking app. Jeez Louise. But anyway, let's move on to the next story here. Nintendo explains why smartphone title Miitomo was delayed. And so here you can see pictures. It's very similar to like create a Mii character again and talk, and it looks similar to Tomodachi Life in some way. But anyway, Nintendo president Tatsumi Kimishima says that the reason behind the delay of the first smartphone title, I keep thinking this is Miyamoto, Miitomo, is simply because they need to promote the idea behind the unique title. He says that they are currently busy promoting their console and handheld titles for the holiday season at the moment. Stop the phone right there. Right there. Console and handheld titles? What are you promoting right now? Let's see. You didn't promote Fatal Frame 5 worth of shit. At least in North America. Probably Japan got it, but then again, that came out a while ago. Star Fox isn't here anymore. I don't see any advertisement or promoting of the stupid Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival, or whatever it's called. The tennis, Mario Tennis Ultra, whatever. Haven't seen much about that. Yoshi came out a little while ago. Mario Maker came out a while ago. What are you talking about? And what 3DS games has there been? No offense to the 3DS, I love the 3DS, but what has there been that they're advertising for the holiday season that's something good? I don't know. Anyway, Mr. Miyamoto also revealed that DNA will focus on operation of the games while Nintendo will focus on game design. Okay, so Nintendo builds the games, but DNA will focus on what, like the operation system, I guess, getting it up and running on the system. Okay, weird. Whatever. So on the reason for the delay of the smartphone app, see, at least Kimishima isn't calling it what it isn't. He's calling it a smartphone app, not a fucking game. Mr. Kimishima says is the need for more lead time to fully promote and explain Miitomo. The company is busy promoting blah blah blah. I read this already. Okay, but first of all, how do you? Well, I mean, commercials are obvious, like Angry Birds and all that shit. But how do you promote? What is the best way to promote a phone app other than a commercial on TV being spammed on every fucking channel? Because it's not like I really hope Nintendo isn't like, hey, on the 3DS and on the Wii U, we're taking a page out of the 360's book and splattering ads all over the fucking page of the home Wara Wara Plaza or whatever, and and on the eShop, hey, here's our phone app. Make sure you download it. If I see ads popping up everywhere on the 3DS and Wii U, oh my goodness, I will not be happy. But anyway, curious about how the DNA and Nintendo partnership is going, Senior Managing Director Shigeru Miyamoto says DNA will focus on operation of the games, which suggests game design is all Nintendo. Which is kind of what Nintendo does, game design. That's literally what they do, so why is that shocking? It's not. Next story. Nintendo president says there's more unannounced titles this year. Now, I'm confused, but let's get into this. CEO Tatsumi Kimishima, the president, says there are more titles unannounced coming this year to promote Wii U and 3DS during the year-end holiday season. Okay, I don't want to come out as an asshole here and say you're a fucking liar, Kimishima, because you're probably not, but at the same time, can anyone think for a second? There's 2 months left of the year. November starts on Sunday. We have November and December. You're saying there's more unannounced, meaning plural, more than one, unannounced games that we have not heard of yet for Wii U and 3DS coming out within the next 2 months. Anyone else find that hard to believe? Anyone else? Where's the time for advertisement where you're just saying, oh, we delayed a smartphone game or app because we need to promote it? Where's the promote? You can't promote a game, well, a game that anyone gives a shit about, in a month or less. I do believe we're going to get a Nintendo Direct soon that will, uh, maybe hint at one of these things, but either way, let's be honest, any of these unannounced titles are probably nothing that anyone cares about. Like Nintendogs U or something like that. It's just, don't be, it's not going to be like in a Nintendo Direct next month. It's like, surprise, F-Zero U coming next month in December. It's not going to happen. Although I believe Fast Racing Neo is December, so that'd be kind of pointless to release F-Zero and Fast Racing Neo. That would just kill Fast Racing Neo. But anyway. I don't know if I believe that. And then people are talking about here, we've all heard the rumors regarding The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess for Wii U. Let's be honest, Nintendo themselves still haven't said anything about that. If it happens, I sincerely highly doubt it's going to be an HD remake like Wind Waker. More than likely, it'll simply be a port onto the fucking eShop, much like Mario Galaxy 1 and Mario Galaxy 2. Even if they did a fucking HD remake, I don't know if I'd want it. Because to me, Twilight Princess, I mean, I hate to say it's nowhere near as bad as Majora's Mask, but it was a bland open world with nothing to do in it. I played it, I got some enjoyment out of it, but in comparison to like Skyward Swords, A Link Between Worlds, Ocarina of Time, and what was the other one? There's another one I played that I really liked. I forget which one it was. Either way, my point is, it's not really gonna do. And if we have all these Zelda games on Wii U, Wind Waker HD, Twilight Princess HD, fucking Hyrule Warrior spinoff, and then Zelda Wii U. That's 4 Zelda games on a system, and that's gonna add fuel to the fire. People saying, "Oh, Nintendo milks Zelda," and I can't defend that. I won't be able to defend that because it's true. But yeah, if it just gets ported to the eShop, and it's like, oh, you can download it for $9.99, then I'm perfectly fine with that. Next story. More details on My Nintendo, the Club Nintendo replacement. Now, this was also revealed. So the new replacement for Club Nintendo is apparently called My Nintendo or whatever. But it's kind of confusing. There's like 2 different things. There's like Nintendo account is what our Nintendo Network ID is going to be called, and My Nintendo or Club Nintendo, no, My Nintendo, the club or whatever, is basically Club Nintendo. But you'll link your account to this anyway. So basically, it's similar to the way it was before, but it has more added to it. You play games, you get points, you get digital downloads and DLC you can get with it, and credits, and you get physical rewards apparently. And then there's some other stuff here. So you'll also apparently be able to use your coins, or your coins, what am I talking about? Your points in your conjunction with the Nintendo theme park rides, as well as theaters and stores. So I assume that'll probably be in Japan only, but at the same time, how would that work? Like, I mean, with a store, I could see it being like GameStop, where it's like, say you tell them your account number or like your Nintendo Network ID name, and not your password obviously, and then they check it, and then they'll see that, oh, you have 20 credits or $20 credit, so then you could buy a $20 Nintendo eShop card with that. Maybe that's how it would work, and that would be kind of cool. But I don't see it being like, oh, go to the gas station and get fucking gas with Nintendo points or something like that. Movie theater, I don't know how that would work, and then the theme park would obviously only work for Nintendo themed rides. Um, Ease of creation, use of Nintendo accounts being emphasized. Register with Nintendo Network ID, Facebook, Twitter. Fuck off of Facebook and on all that shit right now. And Google. Google is a fucking trying to take over the world here. Whoa, what did I just do? Did not mean to do that. Opened up a stupid Twitter thing. You'll be able to purchase software downloads on the site. Blah, 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 blah. New point program for purchasing, playing console, mobile games can be used on DLC, original goods, game coupons, blah, blah, blah. Except no one gives a shit about fucking mobile. But either way, let's move on here. Nintendo NX. Nintendo says they will be far more aggressive in using their IP. What does this mean? Well, let's get into it. Legendary developer Shimigami. Wow, where am I going? I was going Shimigami with that. Shigeru Miyamoto has told investors that when it comes to Nintendo's next video game platform, the NX, they will be much more aggressive with their long-standing IPs. He says that he wants to reach more children. Big red flag there. And the company will be able to do this by leveraging smart devices. And I forgot to make one funny joke I was going to say before with the delay of the smartphone app. I was going to say, oh, you know what all that means? If they're delaying the smartphone app, it's because it's going to be ported to the NX, because that's apparently what everyone thinks. Zelda Wii U delayed, oh, it's going to NX. Star Fox, oh, it delayed going to NX, so forth, so on. Just a joke, but I thought it was funny. Anyway, back on this. So Mr. Miyamoto says, he chimes in on NX saying, we are going to be far more aggressive in using our IP and not just stop with licensing as in the past. The first example is Amiibo. We want our IP to better reach more children, and smart devices is just one vehicle. Well, technically, smart devices is a fucking phone, not a vehicle, but I get what you're saying. But, I don't know. I mean, on one side, this is good, and on one side, this is stupid. Because people want Nintendo to be aggressive with their long-standing IPs. That's something they've wanted forever. But and I'm fine with for example, like he brings up the Amiibo. I'm fine with that, especially if they want to breach into more and more. That like if there's a fucking Wolf O'Donnell amiibo, I will love that. If there's fucking randomly like Ice Climbers amiibos, Captain or F-Zero amiibos, fucking Metroid amiibos with even Ridley and stuff, then I'd be like, cool, cool, I'm all for that. But I mean, they still need to be much more supply, but that's a different story for a different time. Um, but then the problem is better reach more children. I get that you want kids to grow up on Nintendo. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that idea. But the problem lies in when you are literally focused 100% on that group and you're just completely ignoring everyone else. So, the people who were kids growing up with you are not kids anymore. Time does not freeze for your fan base, Nintendo. We're all older, and so you can't just say, well, those guys have probably moved on from us. Let's focus on the kids again. It worked before in the 90s, it'll work again. No, no, no. It doesn't work that way. Kids these days and kids in the 90s, not that same. Not the same at all. So, and when you try and go after the kids, that means you have to go after their parents too, because you have to convince their kids to get their parents to, or to convince their parents to buy them the consoles and all this shit. And it's just a nightmare. It's just, frankly, you're causing a struggle for no real reason. I'm not saying you need to completely ignore kids, but I'm saying you got to do it in a way to where you keep your core, but in a way you've done something that actually attracts the kids' attention without you having to actually go after the kids yourself. So, either way, let's move on here. Last story here. Rumor Retro Studios' next game could be a new IP. I'm going to deny that right there. This was Liam Robertson from Unseen64, some random guy out on the internet, which, to be fair, people can say that about me. I'm some random dude out there, in the world. That's true. That's entirely true. Although my history of guessing things has been, you know, more than on the average time accurate. So, has revealed on a recent podcast that he is under the impression that Retro Studios could be hard at work on an original IP that they proposed to Nintendo. We know that they finished work on Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze back in late 2013 and have since been pitching projects to Nintendo. The new game was apparently greenlit by NCL in 2014. But then he says, I don't actually know what the project is exactly, but I know that it is something that Retro themselves pitched. They came off Tropical Freeze in very late 2013, I think it was, and they continued throughout 2014 pitching new projects. And then they eventually pitched a project that went through, and NCL greenlit. I don't even think I've heard of NCL. Maybe I have and I just forgot. I don't know. And I assume that's what they're doing now. By all accounts, it is. Well, I know what they say about the assume. Like, don't assume because it makes an ass out of you and me. Ha ha ha. But either way, I don't think Retro wants to do Metroid Prime 4. I agree on the Prime 4 part, but they do want to do Metroid. But anyway, I'd be surprised if Retro themselves pitched that. I think they had their fill of Metroid. Except you're forgetting that some of the key members of Metroid back then aren't at Retro anymore. So therefore, these people that came over to Retro now have not had their, quote, fill of Metroid. And let's be honest, you can't have your fill of Metroid. You can never stop wanting more Metroid. I don't care who you are. And if it is Metroid, then it will be something different, like maybe a 2D one or something. Who do you think this is? Like fucking Team Ninja, who did Other M, which still I didn't have a problem with. or something different from Prime. See, you know what? I'll go over my thoughts on this when I'm done this. I think they have the potential to work on multiple projects, but I feel like the money isn't there. People don't realize it, but Retro is one of the priciest studios for Nintendo to maintain, and I can't see them letting them do two projects at once. As far as I know, they have one NCL producer with them right now, and I couldn't see this person overseeing both of them. Except you're fucking forgetting that Miyamoto is pretty close with Retro Studios, you fucking idiot. But anyway, I think this person would be doing one. And I mean, even look at Miyamoto. He fucking juggles Star Fox, Project Guard, Project Giant Robot, the Splatoon team, helping with Zelda, and Pikmin 4, and all that shit. So, of course, one guy can do more than one. Um, and you were saying, could it be an original property? I think, actually, the time is now for Retro to do an original property. They've done two established Nintendo franchises. They've done Metroid and Donkey Kong, and I think now is the time to let them take hold of the reins a bit more for free, or bleh, a bit more for themselves, and do that. And I think it is something that they pitch themselves. Then that does make it more likely that they pitch something original. Again, he's just all making shit up here. He's just guessing. Maybe that's what he secretly just wants them to do. But I'm going to debunk this right now. I'm going to break it down like I used to do. First of all, let's do this chunk by chunk. Let me think here. Where do we want to start? He says he doesn't actually know. Blah, 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 blah. No one knows because Retro Studios is fucking secret about shit like hell. Blah, 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 blah. I don't think Retro wants to do Metroid. I kind of already talked about that. Except for the fact Retro, literally a statement from them after Tropical Freeze came out, they themselves stated Nintendo offered them either Metroid or another Donkey Kong. They had ideas left over from Donkey Kong Country Returns, so they did Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. So he says here, where is it? Blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. Hang on, give me a sec. Where the fuck was it? There was something here about. Oh, here it is. Something that Retro themselves pitched. That is a big wrong. Because again, going back to what I just said, Retro said Nintendo offered them either Metroid or Donkey Kong. So that right there, from Retro themselves, proves Nintendo pitches them ideas. Retro doesn't do that because Retro Studios was literally built to do the Nintendo games that Nintendo themselves don't have time to do. Granted, when they first started, yes, they were working on 4 prototypes of original IPs, which Miyamoto eventually scrapped in wake for Metroid Prime. That turned out to be a big, huge hit. Miyamoto acknowledged that he even stated not too long ago, maybe a year ago or so, that he's fully comfortable with Retro Studios handling the Metroid franchise. Like he fully trusts them. So again, I don't feel if they were doing a Metroid game, I don't feel like they would need someone like Miyamoto watching over them because Miyamoto himself trusts what they can do. So again, Retro doesn't pitch their. I mean, maybe they could pitch their own ideas, of course, and like the game themselves is completely under their own control. But the actual IP that they're working on, it's not. They're not gonna make their own IPs. That's not what Retro Studios has done. That's not what they're all about. They're called Retro. Why? Because they focus on past IPs of Nintendo. They're all about reviving Nintendo's franchises, helping continue them. They make games like the retro days. That's why. So, back when they said, we were offered Metroid or Donkey Kong, unless, Nintendo gave Metroid to someone else after they chose Donkey Kong, then it would make sense that Metroid was there waiting for them after they finished Tropical Freeze. And again, I still believe they're working on Metroid right now for Wii U. I don't think it's going to be a silly, 2D one, but I think it will be in first-person style. Not, it won't be Prime 4, but it'll be first-person adventure style. Could be wrong, but I'm still feeling a retro Metroid vibe. But, yeah. What else? I also think we'll get to see their game at E3 because it'll be about 3 years again, just like it was with Tropical Freeze. Potential to work on multiple projects. It depends on the project, really. If there was that rumor that they were working on their own game engine, they could do that in a game at the same time. They can handle that. There's no doubt Retro is one of the priciest studios for Nintendo to maintain, but I mean, at the same time, Nintendo is fucking loaded with money. That's not an issue. Um, but yeah, I guess that's that. Oh yeah, there was actually. Let's just go back to the main page here. I should have had this open, but now I gotta find it. Um, there was something about Nintendo Directs here. Oh yeah, and I should show you this real quick. Nintendo shares now down 7.5% after the mobile reveal. Well, that's not a massive drop. It's still kind of like people were really honestly expecting a Nintendo mobile game to be like Mario or Zelda or Pokemon or some kind of huge big blockbuster, one of their IPs. Really? Did you? I don't even think. I mean, technically, yeah, Nintendo is stupid enough to do that, but I mean, there was a comment where someone was like, "Okay, good. My worries of Nintendo going the Konami way are laid to rest or whatever." But either way, where was that thing though? I just want to wrap this video up. This is getting to be too long. Where is it? Where is it? Nintendo Direct will take a new format next year. From Kimishima. Nintendo Direct being remodeled now too. A new format for next year. It doesn't really need a new format, but be interesting to see what Kimishima does with it. Although it could just be the person they hired to do the editing of Nintendo Directs. But there was something else about Directs. Where was it? Um, Oh yeah, and here was like the list of Nintendo things for 2016, and people were freaking out. They're like, "There's no new games, man. Where's Pikmin 4?" That hasn't been revealed yet, you dumbasses. Nintendo, this is a public document that Nintendo releases. There's no way they have never, ever, ever revealed something on this list that wasn't out yet or wasn't revealed yet. So don't be stupid. Um, Nintendo is profitable this financial quarter. Yes, Nintendo gained money. Here we go. Tatsumi Kimishima confirms there will be a Nintendo Direct this year. He says, "Good news, Nintendo CEO." Well, this was some other guy. It says Nintendo Direct is alive with at least one coming this year. I've been saying that this for how long now that I feel we'll get one in November, December, and it looks like it'll happen. I still think it'll probably be next month. I don't think they'll wait to December. Whether they actually show much of anything special, I don't know. The only special thing will probably be Kimishima showing up and revealing himself and announcing who he is to the world. But other than that, I don't know. Maybe I think we'll get him. It could be around November 7th, which is only like a week away. But because Anuma apparently will be in Famatsu's magazine on November 7th, and supposedly even talking a little teeny bit about Zelda U, according to that article I read or whatever. But anyway, I've talked too long. That's it for this OBA news video. I covered a lot of stuff, and yeah. So stay tuned. More videos coming soon, as always. We'll see you then.